PGE Solidarity Cup 2023. Jest to impreza Międzynarodowej Unii Łyżwiarskiej organizowana przez Polski Związek Łyżwiarstwa Figurowego. Już za kilka chwil rozpoczniemy taniec dowolny juniorskich par tanecznych. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Gdansk. Welcome to the Oliwia Ice Rink and welcome to the ISU Junior Grand Prix PGE Solidarity Cup 2023. This is an event of the International Skating Union and hosted by Polish Figure Skating Association. In just a few moments we will start ice dance, free dance. Przypominam Państwu, że fotografowanie i filmowanie z lampą błyskową jest zabronione. Łyżwiarze bardzo cieszą się z maskotek oraz kwiatów, natomiast prosimy pamiętać, że te drugie muszą być solidnie opakowane. Dziękuję Państwu za współpracę i życzę miłego oglądania. We remind you that flash photography as well as video recording and filming is forbidden. Gifts and flowers offered to the skaters at the end of their performance must be completely wrapped. We thank you very much for your cooperation. A teraz, Szanowni Państwo, mam przyjemność przedstawić Państwu skład komisji sędziowskiej oraz panelu technicznego. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to introduce the officials for this event. Representing the International Skating Union, please welcome the referee of the event, Ms. Janis Engel. The panel of judges. Judge number 1, Ms. Claudia Stenker, Germany. Judge number 2, Mr. Roland Meda, Switzerland. Judge number 3, Ms. Elisabeth Weisser, Austria. Judge number 4, Ms. Leslie King, Canada. Judge number 5, Ms. Olena Lisowa, Ukraine. Judge number 6, Ms. Akiko Kobayashi, Japan. Judge number 7, Mr. John Cole, United States of America. Judge number 8, Ms. Valeria Rosa, Italy. Judge number 9, Ms. Katarzyna Szawarejko, Poland. Also representing the International Skating Union, please welcome the technical panel. The technical controller, Mr. Marcin Kozubek. Technical specialists, Ms. Olga Akimova and Mr. Benjamin Bloom.
everyone. Welcome to Gdansk, week number 6, the final day of competition. We have the ice dancers practicing in the background. We've seen the men's free program a little earlier today. Free dance coming up. Mark, what can we expect?
Well, we have 19 teams, and we have some close contests within the event after the results of the rhythm dance. And we've got 2 previous winners on the series already so far, with the Germans and the Ukrainians vying to get their second title on the series. And then the battle for bronze is really closely fought between a Swiss team and a Japanese team, neither of whom are particularly prominent ice dance nations, but they're currently separated by just 0.09 of a point.
Always so much drama in ice dance, but so much beauty as well. 19 teams from 16 nations, and the free dance takes to the ice, get this right now. You got it right, Mark.
Yes.
Great job.
Taking 6 weeks.
As we fly over the Olivia Arena here in Gdansk, the final event on day number 3 and Junior Grand Prix number 6. We go to Yerevan, Armenia for the 7th of the Junior Grand Prix.
Yeah, and that will be the final decider on those Junior Grand Prix final spots.
We're live inside the arena here. The ice is clean. The dancers are dressed, and the judges, as we see, are ready to take on their duty as the first group of dance teams take to the ice for their warm-up. And there is a look at the technical panel as well.
And we can just have a look back at the results from previous events, and Leah Nisset and Artem Markelov from the United States of America lead the standings as we see now. Free dance starting order with the Finnish team Kesti and Lidenpoha starting proceedings.
Proceedings. Okay, I have to ask you a question. So what will it take the top 3 teams, that's for instance, right now, top 4 teams perhaps, what will it take for there to be a change?
Well,
and you're going, that's a really good question. I don't know. No. What?
For a change in the standings, it will be dictated. It would probably have to make a pretty big error for it to be a change actually between 3rd and 4th.
Maybe
that's really up for debate insofar as they're separated by such a small margin. But for there to be a change, maybe from the top 2 teams moving down the standings, then they would have to have a mistake. And unfortunately, we saw that with Jali Pedersen and Jeffrey Chen, the team that were second last week in Budapest. That said, though, that's a team that's so new, and Jali so new to ice dance. So they are, I'm sure, relieved that the mistakes made may have taken them from first place after
for sure. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, absolutely. So now, asking a little further question on that, those top dance, they're pretty much the same. They all have level 4 lifts, for the most part, and twizzles and whatnot. So nothing changes unless really there is a mistake in there somewhere. That's the only way those scores actually get lowered at this point. Is that fair to say?
Yes, and so much of the result in the appearance will be down to grades of execution of the elements and the program component scores. And as a vast generalization, the component scores will be hooked upon the skating skills component. And so with that in mind, the team that will rank on top will be the ones that do have the most flow, the most power and speed, the balance and glide and clarity of edges. And that the criteria set out not by me, but by the International Skating Union across all disciplines.
Yeah, and you just pulled out the criteria sheet, which is all crinkled up.
you can tell this has been well worn.
You can barely read it, but you got that right on, so that's good. Yeah, well, that's interesting, you're right. So these skaters know that in order to maintain and or have a chance to move up, they cannot make mistakes. So they live with that pressure every day. Now, not so much with the singles and pairs. You can have a mistake because there are more mistakes generally in those disciplines, and so things can even out a little bit. But here,
yeah, for any ice dancer, a fall within the ice dance, it really paves the way for a huge disappointment. Whereas, we just saw Beck Stromer have a fall on his free skate, the final competitor in the men's event, a fall on a single axle, a minor blip, but it's accepted. It's taken as an assumption that kind of mistake is likely to happen at this stage in the season. If an ice dance team goes down, the ratio of that happening is much lower.
Well, yeah, in that fall itself, there was such a big spread in front and behind him. That fall really didn't mean anything.
Yeah.
But in ice dance, because there are not that many mistakes, and if it's quite close, it means a lot.
Yeah, so much. And what's interesting when we look at the skating skills component score, and I'm saying that that's the hook for which the other components seem to rely upon going, there is nothing in the definition of the skating skills pertaining to the strike of the blade or the angle of the extension of the free leg. But what you will see in this ice dance competition is that the way in which the skaters stroke and the way in which they push and extend their legs will be of a better quality as we head towards the later stages of the competition, and that's something that the best coaches in the world will fixate upon in basic skating skill.
Okay, now we've had a small course on ice dancing and what to expect here. Thank you. 1 minute left in the warm-up.
And I suppose we've just watched the men's competition and we talked so much about jump technique and how important it is to have a really clean jump technique, a good biomechanic, a good takeoff. In the ice dance competition, knee bend and stroking has the same kind of equivalent respect. So if you look at a triple lutz, which you've just seen from Beck Stromer, which has just glorious technique, when you look at an ice dance team that has really deep knees and ankles, really long stroke, real use of the edge and the blade, to an ice dancer that has the same kind of respect in some regard as a jump technique that's of good quality.
There you go. Good information, and I don't know how many years it takes. Would take. It's so hard for a viewer who doesn't know anything about skating. That's a really difficult concept. But for those who do know about skating, are understanding what you're saying.
Yeah, and we can touch on it and we can look at it because in this group, it's under development for everybody, and it's still something that the world's very elite couples will still be striving to achieve. But there'll be a different level of length of push from this group than there will be from the later couples.
Okay. Well, let's get started on the final event here in Gdansk. Our first team represents Finland, 15-year-old Anna Kesti and 17-year-old Askari Lidenpoa. 19th in the rhythm dance. And they'll skate first to Heaven Is Here and Witch Witch by Florence and the Machine.
Enna Kesti and Oskari Lidenpoa from Finland, and they've competed a few times as novices internationally, but this is their first junior event, Junior Grand Prix, and they had a really tough rhythm dance, which was hard to see, and all the more impressive then to have come out now and skated a clean performance here.
Yeah, you know, when you look through it, you can see that, okay, skating skills will improve in time, et cetera, but for them, there wasn't really any mistakes. They were always there when they turned around. The hand was there. They were, you know, right on cue. We'll take a look at some of the elements. Here's the twizzles. Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, now the leg feature, the arm above the head is a feature, and good unison, good synchronicity, good proximity to one another. Right forward, outside, hands clasped in front.
2 and 4.
And actually, what was great was the musicality punctuating the exit there. Change of pose within the straight line lift, and then into the rotational. Choosing to do combination lift. Couples can choose to do either that or 2 short lifts. Up to them. And here we get just a little look at that depth of edge and the length of the stroke. So as each skater's blade leaves the ice, ideally you want to really press down into the ice and have a long connection with the ice when they push. And that's something that, as we say, is still under development for the teams. This, the choreo Hydroglide, that new this year. Great for them to be choosing this new opportunity to choose a choreo Hydroglide movement. That now introduced by the Ice Dance Technical Committee as an option for the choreo elements, 2 choreo elements that the teams can choose to use in their free dance.
A nice, solid, clean program for them. They look pretty happy coming off the ice and the kiss and cry.
Great. And you know, it was sad to see the kiss and cry yesterday after the rhythm dance. It's wonderful to see now the smiles there as Enna Kesti races to take off her skate. Suspect that she has.
She did the same thing, I think, yesterday.
Yeah.
24 hours, how that can change things, eh?
Yes, exactly. And, you know, you want everybody to skate cleanly and have a good positive experience. It's always great if it's the set. If you're going to have a rough skate, at least it's good if you come away with the second one, leaving a good impression of the event.
And both of them have a big smile, and I think proud of what they've done. Like I was looking very closely to see, you know, because it's a young couple still, and they're still learning, but they were taught extremely well. They were, I don't want to say cautious, but they were at the speed they need to be at their stage. And they didn't make a mistake. Like they were really together.
And it's quite a big jump from novice to junior in the ice dance competition insofar as the concept of rhythm dance and different elements in the free dance as well.
Exactly. Free dance score 60.40 for Enna and Oskari. That is, of course, first, their first team out, 93.60. Total score for the competition. Great job. Good way to finish the Junior Grand Prix here in Gdansk for them. Our next team represents Austria. Elizabeth 15, Leo is 18. First Junior Grand Prix season, second event. They were 16th in Linz, but their sister team here, 18th after the rhythm dance. And they'll need a 52.16 to take the lead.
The first of two sibling pairs in the competition, Elizabeth Habers and Leo Habers from Austria. And to me, vast improvement from their first outing at the Cup of Austria. And you can see here an increased quality in the skating skill from that which we've seen already, and something to keep an eye on as we walk through the event.
They have a really nice presence on the ice, you know, great posture. They're similar match in regards to skating quality, obviously.
And, you know, you talk about patience in the jump technique. There seemed to be a patience in this that, as their coach, Anna Hubler, greets them off the ice, it was evident, presumably from the more reps that they will have had since their last Junior Grand Prix. As we look at the straight line left, change of pose here in the difficult position.
And sliding across the ice, you need that ice to be a little bit clean to get that slide.
Yeah. And this was good. They had good synchronity, very, very close to one another to boost grade of execution. Right forward, outside, as we've seen from others so far. Just a little out of synchronicity there. But on the whole, impressively close as they do the Group C feature. For the Twizzles to come in at level 4. This part of the choreographic step sequence. Just need to be careful they don't drift too far apart within this. Nice order within that. And here, rotational lift. So the lifted partner sustaining a difficult pose through at least 5 rotations. And the lifting partner moves through at least 6 rotations. There's another choreographic hydroglide movement. So lots of options for the skaters to pick from with regards to the choreographic elements. And interesting to see that the first two to compete have both chosen that new.
Yeah, it's kind of creative and cool. And it's less risky than sliding, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe so. And I didn't think many people would use it, but great to see these first two teams exploiting that opportunity from the ice dance technical committees. And the choreography. We're
going to keep count because you don't think too many are going to use it. So
yeah, I'll be saying it 19 times, maybe. And the choreographic movements, or the choreographic elements, pardon me, all come in at a base value of 1.1, and then the element total score is totally dependent upon the grades of execution, and we'll see huge variations as we head towards the later event, and the seniors hoping for +5s, and they can really snare a big score with those elements. Probably the most maneuverable element in terms of potential element score.
I like that word, snare.
Snare.
Yep, nice.
Well, a snare, a big +5. That'd be nice to see. It'd be interesting to see if we see any +5 grades of execution being awarded.
I haven't seen that. Like, I'm sure in seniors there are. I haven't seen it in junior yet.
In fact, in the entire event, as I looked through the whole competition here in Gdansk, I saw Chinese women, I think, had +5 on her spin.
Oh, really? Nice. Good job, Inspector. I'm ready.
Well, this is where somebody online will tell me, oh, and also this person did, and this person did.
Yeah, exactly. You get the list.
The scores, please.
Here are the scores for Elizabeth and Leo. Season's best, 62.56. That is first in the free dance with a total competition score of 104.01. They'll take the lead at this stage of the competition.
Their total competition score is 104.01. They are currently in first place.
Our next competitors represent Canada. Audra Gans and Michael Butan. Audra born in Quebec, Michael in Ontario. They need a 61.25 to take the lead. They'll skate to Storm by Eric Radford.
Audrigan and Michael Putzan. My apologies to Michael, but you know, it is just incredible what this team has achieved, having teamed up at the end of June, and amazing to see competitors who will be in the competition, their teammates, taking the time out of their warm-up to come and support them.
That's called team camaraderie. That's for
amazing.
Sure. This team is really interesting because they're beautiful skaters, well matched. You can tell it's kind of new, right? It's kind of new, obviously, in June. If we take a look at the twizzles here, those little things. But there's something, and that choice of music thing's perfect.
Yeah.
It's delicate. It's fresh as they are. And so it's really nice.
And you know, teaming up at the end of June, they have done an incredible job of being ready and prepared as we look at the curve lift, just to get the content together, to get elements like this curve lift established, to have features that are level 4 combined in a music choice, having costumes ready. All that takes, you know, so for most teams, they'll have started that preparation either at the end of March, at the end of the World Junior Championships, or even earlier than that, and they've had a much lessened time, and now here they are at the Junior Grand Prix. And as we look at the character step sequence, you can see some passion there from Audra. What I was so, I think, inspired by, as well, by what Audra and Michael have done, is seeing their coach, Benjamin Brisebois, so invested in them, as we see the rotational lift, gorgeous extension of the feet for Audra there. He was totally invested and committed to them, and he now the head of this new development school of the Ice Academy in Montreal, and you can see they've got so many great teams there. But Benjamin Brisebois, who's with them now, look just as encouraging and supportive of a new team as with a seasoned campaigners that are
For
winning
sure.
medals.
Well, part of his responsibility is to build the future. And you get to invest your time in the future right now. 72.26 for Audra and Michael. That is first in the free dance. A little clap by Audra. 115.03. And that'll put them, at least for the moment, overall, in the first place. There we go. High five. Nice.
Now they need to go and cheer for their teammates who cheered for them.
Yeah. Our next team represents France. Diane Schneider and Joseph Booth. 17 years old for both. They're 16th after the rhythm dance. They're going to skate the free program. They'll need a 66.73 to take the lead. They'll skate to the Great Gatsby.
And the Great Gatsby theme, the perfect choice for a free dance. And the music so well pieced together for that light and shade within the performance for Diane Snajda and Joseph Booth from France. The two 17-year-olds both relocating to Lyon, her from Paris and he from Saint-Gervais, to pursue their ice dance career with some of the most notable coaches.
Interesting, Saint-Gervais, just a small town in the Alps there. I skated there, competed close to Mont Blanc as well. And so coming from a small town, wow, that's fantastic. What I liked about this is that this team matched the music matched them. The level of skating that they're at the moment allowed them to work to their highest level and be connected to the music pretty nicely.
Yeah, and you know, as you're greeted by a world champion, Olivier Schoenfelder, here, just looking at the 1 foot turn sequence. So using a back 3 turn as a piece of the content. 4 turns everybody will attempt. Rocker, counter, bracket, and twizzle. Really hard to get a high level on that as we look at the twizzles. Well, nice. Well matched through the first. And good use of the choreography between the first and second. And here, a straight line left.
Little wonky right there.
Good salvage job there.
Yeah, really good salvage.
Change of pose, 1 foot exit. Just ticking off the features as we look at the choreo character step sequence. And obviously this, embracing the 1920s theme from the Great Gatsby music that they've chosen, trying to push composition up.
Just to remind the viewers why the technical committee had them coming either at the judges or away, specific to that. I guess they could do it on diagonal now as well.
Well, this year now with the choreo character step, you can change the shape. So your choreo character step can be in a straight, across the ice, but then your other step sequence must be of a different nature. So some little tweaks to the requirements or the options for the teams, but we noticed so far everybody's still
using.
Why
do you think they did that in the beginning? I know they made the change now, but why did they do that right at?
I think with less ice to cover, more opportunities to focus on the choreo characterized rather than skating skills, because ice dancers are so fixated on more flow, more glide, more skating skill. If that's removed as a variable, then you can really bed into the understanding of the composition and the
Pretty
choreo.
sure you're right, but even if you weren't right, it makes sense to me.
Okay,
okay,
good.
There you go. Good common sense. Well, they don't have a personal best score, of course, but they will in just a moment.
Yep, formed in February, first competition together.
Well, these teams, a number of these teams are really young, not young as an age, but young as in a team. Let's take a look at the free dance scores. For Athena and Eric, a 70.81. That is second in the free dance with a total competition score of 119.12. But that will put them, for the moment, in top spot. Number 1, first. Nice.
Joseph just nodding in approval and understanding. Look forward to seeing this team develop.
The following couples may now take the ice for a 5-minute warm-up.
All ready to announce the next couple, then then we're into the next group, right? Well, we're used to more skaters, like in singles.
Yes. So interesting that in the pairs competition, you can have at most 4 teams in a warm-up. In the ice dance competition, you can have 5 teams in a warm-up.
Which is way more dangerous.
Way more dangerous. At least everybody's rotating. Oh no, they just changed. I was going to say at least everybody's. Whoa! Oh man.
So we were standing beside the boards this morning during practice sessions like this, and you were talking about, I'm not sure what the right word, not danger, but the chaos that a warm-up on dance can be.
It really can, and we know you've seen it within the first 30 seconds of this warm-up. Already a crash for Christina Perrin and Matthew Bland, and every team so desperate to utilize their time on the ice to get themselves bedded into their knees, to facilitate good component scores, but also to try to ingratiate themselves a little more to the judges, as we see the Czech team, Philip Blas, just again eyeballing the judges just to push the presentation commitment.
Eyeballing the judges.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
And we noticed that today when we stood and watched the practice, as we stood center ice near where many started their choreo character step sequence, the ice dancers, it's a different education for them. They were committed to the performance, and we got given some eyeballing as well.
That's true. They focus on the judging panel, in this case for us, was almost intimidating.
Yeah.
But it was great because they actually really bring you into the performance, and that's not enough yet in the other disciplines, although there's different priorities, of course. But it's very difficult in pairs because the elements take so long to develop. But in singles, you could certainly do a lot more.
And that's
Yeah.
that's what makes Jasmine Desrochers, the Canadian skater in the pairs event, so memorable, because she had an ability to connect with judges in the midst of obviously the pairs competition. Whereas for an ice dancer, if you do not demonstrate that connection and expression, it's more notable.
You almost see a traffic cop at center ice. You know, like
I want to. Well, part of me wants to be that person to avoid the damage, and part of me thinks I'd
with
be
a
too
whistle.
terrified.
You know, okay, go left. But it is an interesting part for anybody going to the World Championships or any one of the competitions this year, but Worlds in Montreal, and when you see those warm-ups and whatnot and how fast these skaters, I mean, take these skaters here, they're really good and they're really, pretty fast, but multiply that 4 times, that's the speed that you're getting in the seniors pretty much, maybe 3 times, but, and then you watch that warm-up and it's perhaps one of the most entertaining, scary, nerve-wracking, nail-biting parts of the competition.
And the good thing for the seniors, I'm trying to cast my mind back to my memories of Saitama in Japan, watching the warm-ups at the World Championships and the senior competition. I think the seniors, though, they're so prepped for this, they're so experienced, whereas for the juniors it was, we watched the final 2 groups warming up, and some of them so relatively new and so hungry, so eager, so young and enthusiastic, and sometimes that desperation to showcase what they've been working on clouds their ability to cast judgment on the
seniors
space.
use their peripheral vision perhaps a little bit better. They've had to, and they've had more time to learn to use it. It's so important. You have to have eyes on the side of your head or behind you, or at least sense it. And you know what it's like, because you know how close you are to the boards. But other people go, oh my God, he's going to hit the boards. But you know how close you are. You just sense it. You've been on the ice long enough.
Spatial awareness part of the brain is well developed.
It's part of the thing. But in junior dance, it's not 100% yet.
And the other factor that I was really mindful of as we watched the dance form practice this morning is that it is a 30 to 40 minute performance, that practice. It really is. And the technical panels in attendance to just cast their eye upon the features that the teams are using to try to attain the higher levels. And so in the knowledge that they are showcasing their work in regards to levels, they're just repeatedly pushing in front of the tech panel to showcase that they're worthy of level 3s and 4s that they aspire. Yeah,
absolutely. And when Mark Hanruddy's at the side of the boards well, it's just adding a lot of stress,
just
right?
Gotta perform for that kilt man.
Kilt man. Yeah. Superhero kilt man.
Well, maybe it gives them a laugh. Maybe it lightens it. Maybe I should wear the kilt just to detract any dancers feeling pressure and anxiety.
Well, detract is one thing, distract is another. As we finish up the warm-up here, group number 2, the free dance. As we begin to wind down the week 6 here on the Junior Grand Prix, Gdansk has done a great job. We thank the Polish Federation. Done a wonderful job in this facility. You'd think it would be brand new. It looks fantastic on screen. And it was nice to have a warm environment, all spruced up, and it's really good. It's an older building, but you can't tell. Looks great, feels great. And here we go, group number 2. They were all ready to go. Now they're going to take another just slow little skate around, and here we go. Representing Spain, 17-year-old Athena Faith Roberts and 20-year-old Eric Ellis. First Junior Grand Prix season, second event. They were 12th in Linz. They're 13th after the rhythm dance. Coached by Megan Wing and Aaron Lowe. 69.78. They'll need that to take the lead. They have 67.32 as personal best. They'll skate to Feeling Good by Escala.
Great finish for Athena, Faith Roberts and Eric Alice. The Spanish team looking stronger and more together in the Linz debut.
Yeah, they're getting better each time out. You talked to them a little earlier this week. They talked about the run-throughs.
Yes, and it was just fascinating to know. You'd explained that the coaching staff of Megan Wing and Aaron Lowe do train their teams really hard and encourage them to be as physically fit as possible. And they said on occasion they've done up to 5 run-throughs in any one day, and that's more than I've heard of at this level, and just so impressive that they have the mental strength to put themselves through that.
And
physical.
that started a little later in the season than they had hoped for. But once it got going, they did say, it was really hard, but it's been really worth it. They feel fit and ready and much more prepared. As we take a look at the straight line lift level 4 at the top of the program with a plus GOE of 0.48. Here's the 1 foot section, Mark.
Yeah, they're the back rocker, forward inside bracket, back outside counter, changing edge, and the twizzle. So just 1 turn callable for Athena, 2 for Eric, as we see the twizzles. And event on event, the grades of execution looking much more favourable for them than in Linz. And I've seen, as we look, this is funny, he's like, judge number 1, you come with me. Judge number 5, you come with me.
Great, yeah.
Each one of you, come on, let's see a +3 on this PDF. But throughout the week, I've seen them off the ice, walking through, warming up, utilising their time. I saw them going for a walk together down near the beach. It seems really united team. They're out here in Gdansk in Poland, embracing every moment to pursue better results. And
they're learning how to be a better team, both on and off the ice. And that's so critical. And you can see this. I mean, I've watched them train every morning in the fall and the summer and whatnot. And that was a slow start, but sped up rather quickly here, so looking good, and they look so much more confident now and happy.
And it's great when we can see behind the scenes the amount of effort and hear and see behind the scenes how much effort is going on as Coach Aaron Lowe gives some feedback. And now it's not always the case that it's rewarded, but hopefully now it looks like they might be able to add 5 points, 5.5 points.
67.32 is their personal best, and season best obviously as well. So they can top that. Progress will be made, and this Junior Grand Prix season will have been a great stepping stone for this team. Number one, not because of the result or even the scores, but because they start to believe in, that's what we have to do. We have to train harder.
Yeah,
right?
Gosh.
And if that's the message, Megan and Aaron are going, yes. Yeah.
And, if they can have a sort of a 5-point plan for each event, then of course they can make giant strides forwards. And if they were able to do that, then we'll be looking at Junior Worlds, hopefully.
And this is the moment you feel good. Okay, that's great. But when you go back to the rink and it's cold and it's in the morning, you can't forget about these moments, because this is the moment that you're working towards. So you got to do the work every day, even though no one's watching you.
Well, as you know, Ted, they explained that they train 6:30, I think, that Eric explained to me.
I'm there. I see them every morning. Yep.
And so at that point, it's hard when you're cold and you're tired and you're exhausted from a busy week of training to have the inspiration and invigorated and inspired feelings that they'll feel when they get their score now. But they seem like very mature young adults, and so I suspect this team I don't think it would take much to inspire them.
I think they've learned. Some. I mean, they've got much more to go, but the fact is every skater controls their own destiny by the amount of work and passion they put into this. Now, there are 8 elements in this program. There were 5 of them that were under review, so now the Twizzles went from a 3-4 to a 4-4, so that's good. That's
we watched the singles events and the score goes down. We're watching this dance competition that is going up. So well done to.
That's pretty cool. And everything is in the plus GOE, so that is good. The rotational lift was in a 3. It wasn't in a 4, but still. Yeah. Good.
And program component scores in the mid-5s, and their skating skills component scores gone from high 4s into the mid-5s, and that's really admirable to do that. That kind of improvement that they've made from Linz in that component would be something you'd be proud to achieve within an entire season, not just a month.
Yeah. Okay, we've had the little boxes green for a long time here. Let's get the scores in here. Let's see. No, 10 out of the 10 judges. All the scores are in. Not sure.
The scores.
Oh, here we go. No more filler. Okay, here we go. Free dance score, season best, 73.93. That's a good score for them. That's a 6-point increase. First in the free dance with a 123.28 for Athena and Eric. They're thrilled. Aaron is somewhat happy. He's clapping and still got that eyes focused, but great job. Nicely done.
My powitajmy reprezentantów Czech. Please give a warm applause to our next couple, representing Czech Republic, Natalie and Filip Blasz.
Natalie Lasova and Filip Blas, 15 and 18 years of age, 14th after the rhythm dance, and they'll need 74.23 to take the lead.
Well, we saw them in Bangkok on the first stop of the Junior Grand Prix, and such improvement in that time. And a nod of approval from sister Natalie to her brother Philip as they conclude the free dance. And they pick this music from the Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, for their free dance. Both they and their coach, Kalina Prochaskova, big fans of Marvel, and you can see how passionate they were on the character step to finish.
Yeah, no good, lots of energy. And, you know, it's interesting because that character step, if it's at the end of the program, may not look like jumps and lifts and whatnot, but the energy it requires is huge.
Massive. And obviously, you can only give what energy you've got left in the tank, but the more they've got, the more that can boost the components too. As we look at the twizzles, a little far apart, closing the gap in between the first and the second. Just maybe some slight checked threes within that for Natalie. She fought well. I wasn't sure that he held the difficult 1 foot feature for 3 seconds. 1001, 1002.
Yeah, but I think he got 3. Let's see.
Well, the tech panel and you, Ted, are much kinder than I am, so that's good.
You started counting halfway through the left.
Sure. And here, 2 of the turns given. Again, to Philip, 1 to Natalie. But what we see here is increased flow and glide to that which we've seen from others. And look at the intensity of them. The butterfly from Philip, they were actually both single skaters taught by their current coach's mum as single skaters before they teamed up as ice dancers with her daughter. And look at that commitment here.
And although you're not skating with your partner, you're skating beside your partner, you got to be in sync.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's so critical.
And it was beautiful to hear from Karolina, their coach, who said that she feels a huge responsibility for the skaters, and she says it's incredible, and she's so nervous and anxious, and it's wonderful to hear that, again, that care that a coach has for their students. But also we can now say, well, you know, all that investment and care that she has is definitely paying off. Now then, that's the lower score than they had before.
75.18. That is first with a 124.24 for Natalie and Philip. And although it's a little bit lower, that still, at the moment, at least puts them into first place. But close.
They are currently in first place. Powitajmy reprezentantów Czech.
Well, another team that represents the Czech Republic, 15-year-old Andrea Strna and 16-year-old Jakim Novak. Second event, placing 12th in Istanbul. They're 11th after the rhythm dance. They need a 73.63 to take the lead. Skating to music by David Arnold.
The choreographic lift to finish, much more successful than the fall that they had in Istanbul when they went down on that final element. I don't think it was exactly what they were hoping for.
No, because they got a bit stuck, didn't they?
I think they got stuck in the exit, but having seen the torrid fall that they endured at the last event, they may have had some of that anxiety coming into that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this, although they look so mature, still a very young team, 15 and 16 years old, so much ahead of them, and they seem so invested in their ice dance career alongside their coach Matej Novak. And Chahim was a successful skier, second in the country.
Wow, really?
Committed to his ice dance, as we see the straight line lift. And then taking that into the rotational lift as a combination.
Yeah.
There's a nice dismount.
And both level 4, of course, with a 1.65 GOE, so a good score on that.
And Andrea had to fight through this. Just maybe just dropping one level. It looks like it's maybe 2 levels that were lost there.
2 and 3.
And this, you know, the teams, as we see that great salvage job for Chahim, the team's pushing the skating skills, trying to cover more ice, and obviously just a little bit too much ice at that point, as we see the 1 foot turns. And this the choreo character step, exploiting perhaps the strength of Chahim and the ability to use more lifting prowess throughout that.
Rotational lift, or no, that's that choreographic lift right at the end of the program.
So they're leaving money in the bank for that to be a GOE that will grow and grow and grow. Obviously much better than Istanbul, but I think it'll get better still.
The scores, please. Andrea Jachem uzyskali za swój taniec dowolny 73 punkty.
Season best 73.91 for Andrea and Joachim. That is third in the free dance with a 124.53, but that will put them into first place at the stage.
The total competition score is 124.53. They are currently in first place.
What a close competition between two Czech teams.
Yeah.
Makes for an exciting national championships ahead.
No kidding. Our next team represents Italy. 13-year-old Victoria Protacci and 17-year-old Daniel Basile. 15th after the rhythm dance. And they're going to need a score of 75.94 to take the lead. And they will skate to Gladiator.
What a debut for the young Italian team. Vittorio Petracci and Daniel Basile just moving up from novice competition, and to me, such a really evident, conscious effort to work on their skating skills, and a knee action that's been the deepest of all that we have seen so far, I think.
Well, that transition from novice to junior is still a big leap. Maybe not as big from junior to senior, or for some it might be bigger. I don't know. You know.
Well, the great thing for this team, as we look at the stationary lift, I think the first stationary lift that we've seen so far, this quite a fashionable choice of features that we've seen in the circuit so far. The difficult exit there, pushing the level a little bit higher. Now look at the depth of the knee bend and the crossovers, the depth of the extension. And there, unfortunately for Daniel, just the break and rotation on the twizzles. Managing to engage more for the second, which is arguably more difficult for most. But you can see the match and the extension of the free legs, and again, depth of knee in the back crossovers as we see the choreo slide. And here you see, Ted, what you've argued is more risky a slide perhaps than the hydroglide movement that we've seen from some of the others. But
and a lot of it depends on the quality of the ice, whereas the hydroglide doesn't, because your blade is making you travel, as opposed to your tights or your pants or whatever, or how rough the ice is. So, yeah.
And you know, we've seen so many great Italian ice dance teams, but now with a new coaching staff behind this team, Francesco Fioretti, who just stopped competing only 3 years ago, working with Federica Bernardi, and you know, great to see another new coaching staff. Hungry, responsible, eager, and doing a great job.
Look, all three look young.
Yeah,
right? So,
yeah, very much.
Of course, everybody looks young to me, but you know, it's great to have a generational change there, not only from skating perspective, but young coaches as well, who are passionate about competitive skating. It is a big job coaching competitive skating. It is. We've talked about that in the past, and it's a lot easier teaching them to learn to skate, and they go home and you don't need to worry, and you always stay at home. But this journey is difficult.
And taking the time to come and not just taking the time to create this quality of skater and this quality of team as they group together for a hug, but also taking the time away from work to come and be here and support them. And so the parents' gratitude for the coach's work, I'm sure, will be immense.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at the free dance scores. 73.78 for Victoria and Danielle, and that is fourth at the free dance with a 122.38. Total score for the competition, and that'll put them, for the moment, into fourth place.
Total competition score is 122.38. They are currently in fourth place. A my powitajmy reprezentantów Stanów Zjednoczonych.
Our next team represents the United States of America, 18-year-old Christina Bland and 21-year-old Matthew Sperry. Coached by Igor Shvilban. Their personal best for last season was 78.41. They'll need a 74.26 to take the lead. So they'll skate to Caught in the Fire in the beginning of the end.
When we're torn apart in the dark.
Oh, Christina Bland turned 19 yesterday, and partner Matthew Sperry, and what an amazing example of great composition and choreography. The music just picked out every element, as Sarah Everard and the Americans. Beck Stromer behind the flag, I think, cheering them on. But the construction of the program by Igor Spielban, just, you know, he's so brilliant at picking out the musicality, and Christina and Matthew really committing to the interpretation, embodying the
they get it,
theme.
you know, yeah, that suits them at this stage. Here's the 1 foot section, Mark.
Christina just so committed, and they'll be fixated on the angle of their ankles as they hit each edge. But more than that, this was brilliant. The serpentine step sequence, everything. I just felt every edge given an allocated beat. It was very clear that the music timing was so on point. Curve lift, change of pose, into the rotational. So from my perspective, from a component's perspective, the skating skills, the flow and glide, maybe not as strong as that which we may have seen, but from a composition perspective, the strongest. As we see back inside twizzles, just taking that 3 turn onto the right back inside edge. Little gappy there in the third twizzle, so Dewey for that element, a little bit lower perhaps. And Christina and Matthew are Diversify Ice ambassadors. We saw Jacob Sanchez compete last week here, ambassador as well. And I think Christina massacred her tights in the rhythm dance as well.
Yeah,
so
there
she's
you go.
Taking a battering again.
And look at the right knee as well.
Yeah.
Right enough. Wow.
You know, also got to acknowledge Christina and Matthew were part of that synchro cheer squad that we saw earlier on.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's amazing. They had to focus on their event, and yet they've showcased camaraderie, teammates, support.
Yeah, let's take a look at the free dance score, 75.89. That is first in the free dance with the total competition score, 126.17. Christina and Matthew, at least for the moment, take the lead. And look how close it is, 126, 124, 124, 123, 122. That's very tight. And aren't you scrambling to get the list up right now?
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you reminded me.
There we go. As we slowly look at the results so far in the junior dance, 2 groups. We have 2 more following the ice with servicing, and that'll conclude the final day of competition here in Gdansk. So we're going to the last video playback, the Netflix series from ISU. I'm sorry to use that name. Go ahead. What's up?
We have a look at the winners from Linz. Daria Graham and Mikhail Savitsky, who had their interview following their first win. They lead the field here after the rhythm dance. We'll see them towards the end of the competition. And then to Budapest last week for the A Day With series, and that of Ashley Slatter and Adel Onge Perez, who actually won the free dance last week. And then mic'd up with ice dance coach Walter Rizzo, with the concluding video being about World Ice Skating Day.
Yeah, Mr. Personality, that Walter Rizzo.
he
we'll want to miss
puts us to
that.
shame.
Sounds like fun. We hope you enjoy it. We'll be back right after this. Here in Linz in the Kiss and Cry with the dance champions in week 2 in the Junior Grand Prix, Daria Grimm and Mikhail Savitsky of Germany. Now, what a story. I mean, last year you were in Calgary at the Junior World Championships. You skated the rhythm dance, but you didn't get to skate the free dance, so that was really disappointing. You had a great season last year. First time out this season, you take the title. How does it feel?
Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it always feels great to win, obviously.
Yeah.
It feels great that we could deliver our programs pretty well this time. Even with the lack of preparation that we had, I feel like we did a pretty good job, and it feels really good. The atmosphere here in Linz is perfect. I couldn't do it any better.
Tell us about the new program that you've got this year. What do you like about this program?
I like pretty much everything because I think it suits us. Well, the rhythm dance really suits us, and the free program is something new, so we try to do it our best. But yeah, I think the programs are quite good, and I really like them.
Now, you know, the 1980s theme, you guys weren't around, that's for sure. 1980s, unfortunately, I was alive. It was a long time ago. Did you do any research on the 80s?
Yeah, of course. We watched movies where they danced a lot. We watched many videos about the 1980s to see how they moved, what dance moves they had, and yeah, I mean, there's a lot of variety when it comes to 80s, so you can't really like pick one. It's because there's just so many. But we try to look at as many as possible and see what's good for us and what suits us, and then yeah.
Was the film black and white or was it color? It's pretty old. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, look. It was color. Yeah, it was color. Okay, that's good. Okay, what do you most like about your partner?
His breakdance moves.
No, I mean like about his personality, not his breakdance moves. Okay, but that might be good too. But okay, what do you like about his personality?
I don't know. I think.
You don't know?
No, because I like everything. No, I like his like humor. I think we're pretty similar. So like, I don't know. I just like him.
Okay, well that's good enough. How about you?
I like the way she manages to bond with me, because not many people can do that. And
yeah, that's strange. Is that why it's very difficult?
I'm not strange. You know, she just does it on another level.
I just get him.
Well, you guys are a wonderful team. You know, you really are. It's very special to watch the program. We're so happy for you to hold up that gold medal there. You know, the champions here in Linz, and where will we see you next? I think in Budapest. Is that right?
No, in Gdansk.
Oh, in Gdansk. Okay, well that's even better.
Last year.
Yes.
We'll be there this year too.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, congratulations on this one. Absolutely
so much.
outstanding. Daria Grimm and Mikhail Savitsky of Germany, the champions here in Linz.
We're doing the free dance first, so we don't know what we're doing. So, well, for practice.
Yeah. I knew you were going to do that.
So we're on our way to the ice rink for our first practice of the day. We're super excited, and we're going to sort of feel around, you know, the atmosphere, and you know, really get to know what we're dealing with.
We'll have to check the schedule to see if you make it back in time for lunch.
Yeah, I've got some like strawberries. Atto's got bananas and yogurt,
cool.
so we can
That's fine.
mix it together.
Okay. No.
Ready to go in?
Yeah.
Let's go. Oh.
No, it hasn't been published yet. We'll have to wait.
Okay.
So, you're right.
Hi.
Seen that before?
No, not really. Briefly, maybe I might have seen you.
Little British tea meetup. You guys know them now, so
Yeah,
you could like
cool.
arrange to meet up
Yeah.
for dinner and whatnot.
Thank you.
Have a good practice. I actually have no idea where I'm going, so.
I think
That's
the
the
outside
practice rink there.
That's the practice ring.
So
that's
that's
the main
like,
ring.
yeah.
Yeah, the main rink.
Should we go and have a look?
Yes. Ooh. It's cold.
This is gonna be, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it is.
I like it. I'm assuming it's going to be that side because there isn't anywhere to
Yeah.
sit here, so I'm assuming it's all going to be over there.
Okay.
And that's... Oh, 7 a.m.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's
It's
okay.
fine. Don't
It's
worry.
alright.
Way. You okay? Why? What did you hurt? Because I just know what you two are like for telling me when you're hurt. You don't tell me. So I'm going to keep bugging you, okay? Cheesy grin.
Posing like Evans for a photo.
So we've just done our cool down, and now we can catch up on what everyone else is doing, you know, give some support and cheer for them. A lot of stuff going on really, but exciting. I'm having some soup right now. You know, the air in the rink is a bit cold, so it's always good to have a hot drink, you know, to help, you know, cool yourself down and, you know, really get into the lungs.
I like chocolate and I like wafers. It's good. It's good.
So, but where do you buy the shoes?
Inside.
The other one, I like two. This one is too much to me.
Too much for you?
Yeah. È un ordine, vieni su queste gare con noi, vieni, tranquillo. Sì, mi fa piacere, sì, sì, assolutamente sì.
Per cui vai tranquillo come stamattina senza nessun problema.
Mi fa, ma sei una superstar? Faccio, no, sono vecchio. Bend, ok, fast, and look crazy, dance. Okay, spend time to watch the judges on the ice. Bring them with you on the ice. Okay, make them dance. Okay, don't be boring. Okay, you are trained to do this one, you go like this. Guys. Bene così, capito? Tutto qua, è tutto qua, capito? Presente in ogni passo. Oh, devi essere showman. Capito? Stai con lei però. Stai con lei. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Come on! Meno 6 punti e vediamo quanto prendiamo. Con la caduta e tutto saranno 10.
Cioè il secondo e il terzo quanto siamo giocati?
No? Third place. It's ok. Gli devi dare il mio numero di telefono. He has everything.
He has everything? Oh, you're lazy. You need to give it to me.
I am the assistant of the assistant, and he is my assistant. It's a long line.
We are here to celebrate the first inaugural World Ice Skating Day. And World Ice Skating Day is a single day specifically to celebrate the fun and the joy of ice skating across the globe. Lots of fun, lots of smiles, and a great way to celebrate this first day of World Ice Skating.
The following couples may now enter the ice for a 5-minute warm-up time. From United States of America.
Welcome back, everyone, to Gdansk, Poland. The final 2 groups in the ice dance event. Final day of competition here before we move on to Yerevan in week number 7. Mark.
Yeah, and we've just raced across the skaters' lounge, and it does seem like the Canadian team are hungry and eager for the title of cheerleaders.
They were all dressed up with fancy stuff in the skaters' lounge. It was pretty impressive, I must say, wearing their Captain Canada uniforms.
I think, we asked for questions on occasion during warm-ups. Now we ask for the skaters to continually push that team-leading cheer squad.
And we are really thrilled with the questions that have come in. They're really good questions. I must say, though, we didn't get any today.
No, I don't think we pushed maybe for them enough. I do have a remnant question from... A remnant question? A remnant question? Remaining?
Leftover? How about
that? Question came in yesterday regarding why we see some of the ice dance teams performing a set of 3 twizzles and why some perform just 2. And so the ice dancers have to have different features from different groups. So we have an A, B, and C. So we have different types of features they can choose. And one of the most commonly used from the group C is a 3rd twizzle, and that's a level. So that gets an extra level.
Like it's a feature.
Yeah, as a feature.
Yeah.
But there are other ways to get that level. So sometimes you'll see skaters jump into the entry. That could replace the need for that 3rd twizzle. There are different ways in which teams will choose to attain their level 4, but the most commonly used one is to do 3.
Well, and that is like any of the other disciplines where there's the level 4 is your max that you can get. So they're not just 4 features. There's like 5 or 6 different features, and you can choose which ones you use, which are all difficult, and add to the complication of it, you can choose your menu of features. And if you get all 4, then there you go.
Happy days.
4.
Which is similar in terms of the different construction of the 1-foot turn. So what we'll see in this group is everybody has to do the 1-foot turn sequence, and they will all perform a bracket, a rocker, a counter, and a twizzle, those different types of turn.
Okay, and tell me why, because I always not wondered, I guess I know, but it's hard to see because like you never see a top level like a 2 or a 3, a 3 and a 3 or a 4 and a 4 and a 1 foot. Like it's really difficult to get, but they're all doing the same turns and they look pretty deep, looks pretty good. Why aren't they getting it?
The turns have to be so pristinely clean and correctly executed. So as we look at this team now, that was a forward outside counter, but it wasn't a forward outside edge right up till the blade needed to be lifted for the apex of the turn. So often the skaters will just flatten off the edge set before and or after the turn, whereas the depth and the quality and the consistency of the edge right up until they have to turn has to be so clear and without any flattening. So that in itself is harder when you're traveling with more speed, because more speed tends to flatten out the edge at the point of the turn.
Okay.
When you see the figures,
is that for you easy to see?
Yeah, and I have to say one of the things that not
on the replay, let's say live.
Yeah, I had my coach doubled up as a ISU Championship technical specialist very early on, and he did Junior World Championships and Skate Canada and the like. And so he was so fixated on clarity and quality of turn, and that was really beneficial for me and my partner. We had a level 4 step, which was because of the amount of time that we spent devoted to the quality and clarity of the turns. Now that doesn't mean, of course, it was far from being a world champion, but that was something that we devoted a lot of time to.
You are now impressed me.
Oh, thanks.
You had a level 4 step sequence?
Yeah, we did. At World Championships, we got a level 4 step.
Wow, that's awesome.
But, so, if I was coaching me again, that is awesome. Our skating skills could have been improved, or perhaps the musicality of that step.
Oh, I know.
All these
We're
other
talking
factors.
about one little detail.
Yeah.
I know. I'm giving you
Thanks,
credit
man.
here. I mean,
I'm trying to take it down, but
you're trying to kill your own credit here. Jeez, man.
I got a level 4 step at
We
Worlds.
know how hard it is to get it. Okay, it's only one little tiny part of your program.
Yeah,
but,
that bet was good.
Which the rest was, yeah, exactly.
And so I suppose for me when I'm watching, I feel like I'm attuned to that, but also quite mindful of the fact that to do a bracket cleanly, as we see Canada and America sitting together, to do a bracket clean is really challenging, as is the outside closed mohawk, which we'll see within the step sequences as well. So that's A challenge day.
So a lot of picky details, what you're talking about
Yeah,
here.
real fine detail stuff.
No, I said picky. You said fine. I suppose it's somewhat the same, but... and these are the type of details. This is a good discussion. These are the type of details that the analysis revolves around, and you, the general viewer, wouldn't see it. I mean,
No.
I skate all my life. I did brackets and rockers and all that kind of stuff, and it's hard to pick up. So just because you're picky, you can get it, but it's not easy to see. But the detail's so critical.
Yeah, and to understand the score, not for a spectator wanting to simply enjoy the spectacle, but for scores, and that's what a lot of the teams want, big scores.
Okay, enough of the detailed chatter. We now get back to competition. Group number 3. From the United States of America, 17-year-old Amy Kui and 19-year-old Kenny Eckert. They are also coached by Igor Spielban. They need a 74.66 to take the lead. And they'll skate the free to Ghost, the musical.
Amy Quee and Kenny Eckhart from the United States of America. And they said that they'd known that they wanted this style of music for their free dance, but didn't find the right music. And Coach Igor Spielman played Ghost soundtrack and immediately teared up because she knew the film and the story and how great they found the vehicle for them for their junior season.
You could feel the emotion right off the top of the program, not only in the music, of course, but just in their own stance. And whether they carried that all the way through the program or not, the judges will take a look and be reflecting the PCs, of course. But you could see the intent, and in moments it really connected.
Absolutely. And this the third ever competition as an ice dancer for Amy, and it looks like there's going to be a big improvement in the score from the domestic American Ice. Did it right outside rocker. Back 3 turn, that's not a callable turn, into the bracket turn, and then changing edge to what is the most commonly called turn, the twizzle within the 1 foot. And Amy and Kenny coming in at a level 2 for that, so 2 of the 4 turns called clean. Straight line left, change of pose, the feature, spread eagle for Kenny, and then into the rotational lift. And that coming in at level 4 for both. So here you see a rocker for Kenny, and the
little bobble coming up here. I think it right there.
I think that was going to be his Choctaw, and so just missing that. It's a shame. But you know, as we've seen, this was wonderful in the crescendo in the music, picking up the twizzles, and I thought that was smart. A nice segue between the first and the second, just culling the speed ever so discreetly to allow this really fast rotation on the second, and into the third, pushing up a good grade of execution. And the third of the choreographic assisted jumps, the choreo element that they chose. And what passionate finish there. And they've got a great team here, the Novi team here with Coach Adrian Lenda, who's been with the other American team, and great camaraderie between them both. Nice to see, competing teams supporting each other.
Yeah, that happens quite a bit in juniors. Does it happen in seniors? I'm not sure. Maybe less, perhaps. Yeah.
So they had a 70 in Dallas Classic, the first outing, 74 at Lake Placid, a big event in North New York.
Yeah, that's a big dance event. Yeah, in the end of the summer.
Yeah, a big indicator there of what teams might be selected for Team USA at the Junior Grand Prix. But it looks like they've added a lot to that score.
Free dance score, take a look, 83.70. They're going, whoa! And that is first in the free dance with the total competition score. They're thrilled. There's the hug, 135.22. That puts Amy and Kenny into first place for the moment. Wow, they take the lead. I love the expression at the end, when it's way bigger than they thought,
Yes, that's one of my favorite things to see. Two Americans and 2 Czech teams there. That's interesting.
Oh, get on that couch there. Our next team represents Canada, 18-year-old Jamie Fournier and 20-year-old Everest Ju. She was born in Montreal, he in Kitchener, Ontario. 10th in the ribbon dance and 84.35. They'll need that to take the lead as they skate to the Blower's Daughter and Uncomfortable.
And so it is, just like you said it would be. Life goes easy on me most of the time. And so it is, just like you said it should be. We'll both forget the Can't take my eyes off of you. Can't take my eyes off
I love the music by Damien Rice, and it just seems such a very senior performance from Jamie Fournier and Everest Jew.
Yeah, I thought so too. Like, this is a big improvement with this team. They're well matched. You can see this, and they came together very quickly. I said to you off air a little bit, she looks a little bit like Caitlin Weaver, and just from an appearance perspective. But this team has come together very nicely and very quickly.
And so amazing thing they've been together just 4 months. This is their third competition together too. And when the two parts of a team have such fundamental good quality in their own movement, of course it's going to make a good combination, but they seem to really love the music, and it's brilliant choreography by Roman Aganar.
Yeah, it's really, really well done. And here's a look at the one. Here, you talk about this.
Well, here, although level 1, more flow, more glide, more ice coverage as they change edge into the twizzle. So maybe lower level in terms of the technical element score. Level 2 just coming in for Everest, but it's a reflection of their skating skill as well. Gorgeous extension, great leg line match through the feature for the twizzles.
They had a GOE of 1.25 on this, so that is a nice addition to the level 4 for both.
And another choreo, hydrogliding move. And this had an amazing transition into the spin from the choreo element into the dance spin, and transition here, the rotational lift. I also thought the transition into the curve lift was just fabulous.
Yeah, I missed that, sorry. All right.
And so then here, really trying to sell the presentation, but underpinning all that is good quality of skating skill.
Yeah, their skating skills are matched pretty evenly, which makes it look stronger when they're both at the same level and at a pretty good level, of course. Well, their personal best, well, they don't have one actually, but they're going to need an 84.35 to take the lead, and they have that, 86.53, and that'll put Jamie and Everest currently in the first place with a 137.41 total competition score. Pleased with that. Great job.
And he did get his custard tarts that he was so desperately
Did he get
keen
them?
for. He got them, yeah.
Oh,
so
I didn't see that. Okay.
Everest is happy.
Important news flash. Our next team represents Poland. 16-year-old Sofia Deval and 20-year-old Victor Kulesa. Sylvia Novak-Tabaka, the coach and choreographer. 8th in the rhythm dance, so need an 85.30 to take the lead as they skate to the Phantom of the Opera.
A collector's piece indeed. Every detail exactly as she said. Silently the senses abandon their defenses. Darkness of the music of the night. Let your mind start a journey through a strange new world. Leave all thoughts of the life you knew before. Let your soul take you where you long to be.
On the Polish ice dance team, Sofia and Victor just struggling a little bit through the program, and I often remark about what a great team that they are, and unfortunate just perhaps the pressure of being here. You can hear the reaction and the support of those to cheer them on, but perhaps that pressure was what caused a few little niggly bits.
Some big and dramatic moments, and it was exciting, and then a couple stumbles here and there just began to dilute it slightly.
Yeah. Ah, nice.
Yeah.
Such nice people.
Yeah, and some really good moments in that program. You know, and as we talked about in dance, you really have to be clean. You know, you really have to be. Any little bobble really does kind of affect not just the moment, but the overall as well.
Well, the components get affected when there's a bobble in the ice dance competition, more so too. So not only will the element for the 1 foot, which we'll see later on, will be impacted, but also the components in the presentation. This was okay.
Yep, 4 and 4 with a plus 104 GOE.
And this was fabulous.
Incredible. Oh, she handled her right over her shoulders. Beautiful.
And the ice covers that Victor took through the rotational lift as well. Back inside counter. That actually looked clean if that was looking at Victor's feet there, but the bracket, good too. Not the rocker for Victor, and here just the twizzle. That could have been a lot worse, to be fair. Took them a wee while to get back in, and maybe a fraction late on the music for this straight line lift, but what an epic exit it is. And what was impressive, you can see how hard they must have worked on that as we see the finish for the Phantom, because they had a bit of stress applied to them before that, but that dismount, which was so difficult, didn't look to be a moment's hesitation. So as we see the implications of what's happened for the reviews by the technical panel, we've just seen the score of the free dance for Sofia and Victor just dropping a little bit. But hopefully now they have a little longer respite. I'm not sure if they're domestic commitments or other internationals that they aspire to compete at, but hopefully now the difficulty of this program will be backed up with more time to work on the transitional content, just increasing the speed, increasing the flow and the glide. It's such a complex program. And that's brilliant because we expect them to compete at Junior Worlds again, which is in maybe 6 months, 5 months time from now. So when they have more time with this difficult program, the components will really flourish.
You kind of have to make a program like, this sounds stupid, but you know, like a tight pair of shoes, and then it gets comfortable by the end of the season. You know, it's uncomfortable in the beginning, it doesn't fit, and you're too late, you're too early, whatever. You're chasing the program, but eventually it begins to fit. Let's take a look at the free dance score, 75.27. That is fourth in the free dance with the total competition score, 127.39. That puts Sofia and Victor currently into third place.
Their total competition score is 127.39.
There is a look at your top 5 teams on the leaderboard. More to come. And here we go.
A my powitajmy reprezentantów.
Representing Great Britain, 17-year-old Molly Harrison and 19-year-old Alicia Surenkov-Gulchev. 6th after the rhythm dance. And they will need, there it is, 84.45 to take the lead.
Inside that you playing with your head, watching people on the high street. If I wish myself a superpower, I would make this moment last for hours. If I had my will, time would just stand still, wait for me until I find some magic film. Take a photograph, live inside.
Molly Harrison and Alessio Sorenkov-Gulchev. And this team, in their junior Grand Prix debut, share a hug. He studying accountancy at London University, and how proud his parents are, I am sure, to see this young man competing so successfully, whilst also juggling his academics at a very high level.
And, you know, quite a contrast from the rhythm dance, as most of these are, no question. But we saw Molly really light it up in the dance. And this is a beautiful number, well matched. There's a feeling, there's an emotional attachment, obviously, as we see the
And you know, that precarious balance, I think Molly's foot wanted to be a little bit higher, and how they disguised that. And here the difficult exit. And here the twizzles, maintaining proximity, just dropping level for Molly on the second twizzle. Just about here we see perhaps spinning the rotation.
Yeah, just that
second.
one, that one little moment.
But they have prepared so hard, working also with Vivian Dean, a former world professional champion who trains them in Sheffield, as we see them working through the step sequence. And trying to work the turns in the rocker, changing edge, back inside counter, bracket.
And how long did you say they've been together?
This team have been together a little bit longer, but the first experience for Molly in a dance partnership. Alessio has been on the Junior Grand Prix before, but the improvements that he's made are monumental since 2 years ago in Courchevel with his former partner. And they have worked so incredibly hard, as all the teams do. And this experience, they train with so many brilliant teams in Italy and in the Czech Republic. They spent the summer chasing this international experience so that they're prepared and ready, and now celebrating their first Junior Grand Prix together before they advance forward to Armenia next week.
Wow, good experience gained, and you can see this team working as a team.
Absolutely. And they have a couple of points off for extended lift, so they can hopefully tweak that over the next few days as they head towards Yerevan. But they'll be pleased to see the components, the skating skills in the sixes, and that testament to how hard they have worked. It's so hard to nudge that skating skills component score up. That's, you know, really tweaking and changing the fundamental way that you skate to justify the judges giving you those big scores. And that's not always easy when you've got those formed patterns and habits in your movement, and they've worked really well to do that.
You have to change a whole field to a certain degree. 74.97 for the free dance. That is 6 for Molly and Alessio, and a third with a 127.94 total competition score. And they seem pretty happy with that experience gain. And now they'll get on the plane pretty soon and head off to the final Junior Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Our next team represents Mexico, 16-year-old Harlow Lanella Stanley and 19-year-old Nikita Sosnenko, 7th after the rhythm dance. They'll need an 85.16 to take the lead, 68.49 their personal bests. They'll skate to Caught in the Rain by Beth Hart, and Love is a Lie.
But there's no greater pain. I got left with no lane. I got a whip but no stand. I got no way, no way. Love is a lie. Love is a lie. Love is a lie. And I know I'm going before the game. But there's no greater pain when you're stuck in a bed. I know I'm going down.
Oh, what a shame. Harlow Linella Stanley and Nikita Sosnenko just hard time. She's such a character. She's such a wonderful character in and around the rink. We so enjoy watching her even in practice this morning. So sad times to see the upset that fall will have caused at the end of the program. But this team in this venue a year ago, unrecognizable. There were 22nd of 24 teams at that event, and they've made huge strides forward. Just unfortunate there in the choreo step.
They do have a really good look and well matched. You can still, it's still a little rusty. You know, you need the time. That's going to come in time. And the mistake is just a mistake. It's not indicative. Go ahead.
Well, it's interesting because when I was looking at the inputs from the technical panel, their 1 foot turns, he had a level 3. The step sequence both at level 2. So the first couple of elements, putting them on target for continuing their progress, the meteoric progress they've made since last year. But just the program did crumble a little bit, a few little wobbles and bobbles, and obviously that fall in the final element.
I hadn't taken a spin yet, so I thought I would take one and give you room, give you room to talk.
Here the camel feature, a feature for the men. Nikita just needing to work on the lockout of the free leg and the turn out that extra little bit. Stationary lift. He's got to be in that low position for minimum 3 seconds. And then that difficult transition to lead into the rotational lift. And you can really see him pushing the turns, trying to increase the GOE and the ice coverage. And things started to go a little awry here. So actually, it was more probably in the first. I thought some check turns. Oh, here the third twizzle, just losing that.
Yeah, and the first turns as well. There was, but here's where the fall came.
And this is normally a point where you think, yeah, time to release and let rip and go for it.
Oh, she put her blade on his boot.
Oh, what a shame.
She placed her foot down, but it went on his boot. That's why I was wondering.
Well, interestingly, on the Junior Grand Prix Series, Benjamin Brisebois was explaining that some teams were losing the choreo character step because they were more than 2 meters, 2 arms width apart. So the team's really trying to stay close, just not that close.
Yeah, that was pretty close. Stepping on the feet.
Yeah, and you know, testament to the characters here. Harlow, although upset at the conclusion of the program, now putting it in perspective, isn't that admirable?
Yeah, and you know, that's the danger of ice dance. They skate so closely a lot of the time, and it looks so beautiful and smooth, but if you're just 1 step out, or 6 inches, or 4 inches, or 2 inches out of the pattern, not tracking, you could hit the blade.
And Harlow explaining that Nikita's from a long line of ice dancers. His family were heavily involved in ice dancers, and she described herself as a first-generation ice dancer.
Oh, really? That's funny.
I like that.
Well, she loves it.
And she really does. Like, you can see in and around the venue, you know, really embracing the chance to skate and also to represent Mexico as ice dancers. They're very proud of that, too.
And you can see she's very bright in the kiss and cry and animated in discussion.
And they work with Alexei Kilyakov, Elena Novak, and Pierre Souquet has joined the team this year with them.
And the final element is being reviewed, and the scores will come in after that. So the technical panel goes through the reviews, and once the reviews are done and the level of difficulty has been determined, then the judges will put all their scores in. That takes just a few moments.
And interesting, the character step, obviously because of the fall, it has a negative grade of execution, and it's really rare that that would happen.
Yeah.
So whatever they achieve here, which looks like that will still be a personal best, you know, you can assume that they'll be able to add quite easy points with the character step not having that fall again, which we hope never happens to them.
Yeah, and you know, we talked about this. Sometimes the juniors put so much emphasis on the one mistake, and they don't value the rest of the program. This team has made progress, as many of the skaters have, even with a mistake.
Well, like I say, 22nd last year, and their score then...
It's coming up. Go quick, go quick.
Was 53. So they're 20 points higher than last year.
There you go. 72.36 is the season best for Harlow and Nikita. That is 6 in overall at 124.62. So well done. Even with that mistake, that's okay. Great progress has been made and will continue.
The following couples may now take the ice for 5 minutes.
And here we go. The final group, Mark.
And this group we had the pleasure of being able to watch earlier this morning when they took to the ice for practice, and it was actually, to be honest, as amazing as the teams are, it was quite a fraught practice.
Wait a minute. Interpret fraught for me.
Fraught, a little frantic, a little tumultuous, a little...
kind of like you are sometimes fraught when you come in?
Yes, fraught when I'm frantically looking through my papers or...
Okay, got it.
Trying to find a score or trying to find a stat.
So the practice was fraught.
And it's just for Naomi with the... I'm just trying to help the English... the Tines in the room with their vocabulary. That's what it is. But you could see the experience of Daria Grimm and Mikhail Savitsky, who really dominated the practice insofar as their consistency was really secure to watch, whereas the teams that are battling for bronze, both making mistakes within their practice earlier today, and you can see perhaps the, being in such close proximity of medals can apply pressure that isn't optimal. But however, as I said to you, I suspect that any fraught tension from earlier in the day and mistakes made in practice won't happen.
You did say that, absolutely. And we have the Swiss team and the Japanese team very, very close together. And either one of those teams on the podium it's not unusual, but it's nice to see because you don't often see it.
Well, and when obviously the Swiss team, it was amazing that they achieved that bronze medal in their first Junior Grand Prix of the season in Istanbul. But when I spoke to their coach at the time, she thought, that's great. We're not expecting another medal. And so then, if they manage to do that, that really consolidates and showcases the strides that they have made. And then obviously the Japanese team are just incredibly exciting.
Isn't that interesting? Sometimes, sometimes skaters will think that they've made more progress than they have, and they get disappointed with the scores. But it's not often that they think, oh, no, we won't get that. And then they get it.
Yeah.
No, we're not that good. But then they're that good, right?
Yeah. And, being in the practice, it's obviously such a treat for me, having been at home for the other events, seeing the coaches as well. And the coaches are just so invested. And even... talking to the Swiss team's coach, Melissa Agafanova, who competed for Turkey Olympic Games, I believe, you can see even there, you can sense the energy that the coaches, all of the coaches standing rinkside, if they could do anything for their students, they would.
Stand by ringside. That's what they're doing.
Well, yeah, I mean, we joke about it, but I suppose, they've all come from different nations. They've all traveled around the world to...
Well, if the coaches weren't there, the skaters would feel rather uncomfortable, especially at this stage of development. You don't maybe need a lot of words from them, but you need the comfort to know that they're there, and that if there's something that is needed, they'll give it to you.
And so what we just hope is that all the teams are able to... It's a fine line with ice dance, because obviously the emotional interpretation is so critical, and the adrenaline coursing through their bodies now can enhance the performance much more than it would in a 6 o'clock practice midweek when they're exhausted. But it's managing to maintain that level of adrenaline and energy such that it doesn't overwhelm the body to misstep.
Seems like a pretty calm warm-up. It's good. There's no near misses at this point.
And actually, what was evident in the practice this morning was different styles, but also different techniques as well. And so, for me, in terms of the three components, composition, presentation, and skating skills, I would have awarded different teams the best mark within those three components. So we'll see how. I mean, it doesn't matter what I think, but
okay, finally discovered it. Doesn't matter what you think.
Yeah, pretty much. And so we have Sleeping Beauty, then we have a love story from a deaf man to his love, and then we go to some Tango and Carmen, and then we have some Madonna, and then the final team will have, I can't remember for practice. Oh, it's Pump It with the Black Eyed Peas. So what a cross section of.
It's a variety show.
It truly is a variety show.
That's what I love about dance. Like there's always something new coming up. It's great. It's not often that we see 2 or 3 of the same piece in the same group.
And I suppose cross-referencing back to yesterday, we'd often see 2 or 3 of the same in a rhythm dance, but this season, because of the open-ended 80s theme, we haven't seen that either. So,
and here we go. Final group, final event, week 6 here in Gdansk. First team in the final group represents China. 17-year-old Yufei Lin, 20-year-old Zizhan Gao. 5th after the ribbon dance. 80.97, they'll need that to take the lead. They have an 83.88, so they certainly have the ability to take the lead as they will skate to the Sleeping Beauty.
delightfully charming performance by Yufei Lin and Zijian Gao, a couple that we saw in Gdansk 4 years ago, and I think the most matched team that we've seen so far, and the results that we can see, the stats we can see, show that they're the longest together.
Yeah, that's amazing. 4 years ago. Wow. And it's interesting choice of music because, you know, it's completely different, classical. We've known it for all our lives, but you don't have to see Sleeping Beauty anymore.
No, you don't. And it seemed like a great vehicle for them, something that has obviously made them stand out insofar as they've gone retro almost with the Tchaikovsky.
The old is new.
The old is new, yeah, too right.
There was a quick pickup into this straight line lift. And then right into rotational.
They had a 3 and a 4 on that in their first Junior Grand Prix this season, turning that into a 4 and a 4, so extra points there. This the circular step sequence. Right inside bracket, wouldn't necessarily called that, but well matched in their style and in their movement patterns. And, you know, I mentioned their participation 4 years ago in Gdansk. They were 14th at that event, now vying for medal. They're just 3 1/3 of a point off third, as we see so well matched in the third twizzle here.
And those twizzles in at 4 and 3 with a plus 1.56 GOE, so 8 points for that one element. That's a good score.
And you can see just losing balance ever so slightly, losing the tension in the free leg extension, which is to be expected later in the program. But this was great, loving the choreographic spinning movement that must rotate at least 3 times to go in as a choreo spin. Oh, what a dynamic finish. And you know you're doing well when the fans make you a color-coded flower braid. 83.88 in Bangkok 5 weeks ago.
An 87.52, that's a season's best. That is first in the free dance. They're happy with that with a 143.97. And Yufei and Zijian take the lead.
Their total competition score is 143.
And there is a look at your top 5 teams so far in the event. Here is the team that represents Switzerland. 18-year-old Gina Zender and 19-year-old Beralion Sieber. 4th after the rhythm dance. And they will skate to This Bitter Earth.
Heaven only knows.
Well, they've done it again. Gina Zender and Beda Leon Sieber from Switzerland, and that better than practice, and that testament to you know how strong of mind that they are.
They struggled a little bit in practice this morning.
Yeah, there were some wobbles.
They're captivating tonight.
Absolutely,
captivating.
yeah. And the story behind it, as we see Noah Bodenstein and his sister cheering them on. He, the character that Beda plays, is deaf and speaking sign language, and they work with a sign language specialist for their words. They fall in love, but at the end they realize that life with differences isn't working and go in different ways. So it's bittersweet, as the music suggests.
Yeah. Incredible. Very something special. This team is special in its own way as we take a look at the straight line lift right off the top of the program.
Yeah, and the work that they have done, they look like now they understand that they're quality. Well, they've always been quality. They're great skaters, but now they look like they're contenders, and they believe that they're contenders. Having the confidence here to stand in front of the judging community, judging panel there, and deliver in between the twizzles. Special, and that was better than this morning for sure. And their coach, Cornelia Leroy, watching at home, said, it's like winning the lottery, having found a working partner with the same vision as her. And she's made this partnership with their coaches here, Alyssa Bezigier.
Out of 8 elements, 5 of them are in the +1s for GOA.
Wow.
That's a great score.
And so it's just going to, if we are treated to 3 better performances than this, then what a strong event it is turning out to be. You know, hard when you've got, you know, storytelling with sign language within it and creativity in the lifts, and here a little
bit of slip there, but
and actually the choreo character step grade of execution is just 0.32, so judges did pick up on that. But here, speaking words at the end, and you can see they're disconnected at the end. And she's suffered for her art. Gina, is it bleed of the knee? 88.3 in Istanbul that took them to that bronze medal, the first time that the Swiss ice dance team has won a medal on the Junior Grand Prix. And you know, I mean, both they and the Japanese team that are yet to come so strong, irrespective of whether they capture another bronze medal or not, they've really cemented their position as contenders.
This team is going to be around for a while.
Yeah,
and they're going to be contenders, even as they move up into senior. There's something unique. There's something special, undiscovered. It's like a diamond in the rough, perhaps, or there's gold in there somewhere, right? But they have something beneath the surface. So we'll enjoy watching them develop.
And their coaches, Cornelia and Alyssa, recognize that potential. They said they've always believed in them. And this team, the first of the collaboration between those coaches. And you know, when you're the first of a coach's, you know, early, you can sense the coaches want to prove themselves too, which is...
Well, you want that. In a coach, you want that.
Yeah. You want your coaches to be so passionately behind you, and that's why they've gone to the... Look at the costume. You can see voice is stitched in, the word voice is stitched into her dress. That level of detail, I think words are also stitched in the earth.
And you know, whether you can read them or not is irrelevant. They wanted to do that because it was part of the story that meant something to them. If people picked up on it, great.
And, yeah, exactly. And them doing that will help cement their presentation and their composition scores. Like, you know, if they see that, that's going to help push them to...
Well, 88.30 is their personal best, and they have a season's best here at 88.92. That is first in the free dance. Total competition score 148.57. That'll move Gina and Beda Leon currently into first place with 3 teams to come. They're on the cusp. What will happen? We'll find out. Now, for them, they wait. Our next team represents Germany, 16-year-old Daria Grimm and 20-year-old Mikhail Savitsky. First after the rhythm dance. They've had a successful Junior Grand Prix season so far. They will need a 82.87 to take the lead. Their personal best is 91.68.
Daria Graham and Mikhail Savitsky, they'll be disappointed. The program is so difficult. I actually think of all the free dances that we've seen on the circuit,
yeah, it is
the most difficult.
And I noticed that more tonight. Like it didn't, you know, like, wow, this is hard. Look at the ice. It's quite rough, and it's hard to slide, and wow. A lot of detail in that program.
There's so much detail, and there's so much in it. It's a great free dance. The music's amazing, obviously. It's going to be interesting to see the implications of the mistakes. The straight line lift, I don't know if she was going to go over his head and change the pose in a different way, and that dropped a couple of levels, and the grade of execution is negative. I felt like they were en route to a much bigger score, and in my head, I was just checking midway through to see the score of the Americans who lead the standings, Lena Set and Artem Markelov, to see if they could come close, but the mistakes make that impossible.
This is the difficult entry into the, and she has to hesitate before she goes into the twizzle, so he catches up.
But that's, I mean, that transition between first and second, I mean, it's so hard. It's hard in isolation, never mind within, you know, the element, the middle feature. Rotational lift, fine. You know, it's a brilliant program here, the straight line lift. So this was change of pose. I'm not sure exactly, but there was definitely a different feature intended, and struggling to come out of it. And the judges just, they have to go minus GOE. This, the 1 foot, choosing to do the twizzle first. Nobody does that. Nobody puts the twizzle first. Nobody does a right back inside bracket. They're going for, because it's so, it makes it so much harder. Doing the twizzle at the start kills the speed. A right back inside bracket, harder to do. So respect to them for choosing such difficulty here. That as a transition within the element, also so hard. So it's going to be amazing to watch it develop with more run-throughs. And as I said after the first event, he was ill before the first event. Oh, yeah.
And then the hand, too. His hand is
he
cut.
had
He had to use that
stitches in his hand last week. So, you know, that's maybe that's why the straight line lift. I think he said that he uses that left hand within the lift, uses it in the feature at the end. So,
well, they have one fall now, and their personal best is 98.37. They won't see that here, but they'll just need an 82.87 to take the lead. Should have enough for that.
Yeah, and this is where you want to shout out and say, you know, it's going to be okay, because they've had all these illnesses and now the injuries. Now, a few more weeks of training, this program will really develop. And they're so united as a team, Rostislav.
90.17, that is first in the free dance. And Mikhail's going, okay. 155.88 for the competition. That'll put Daria and Mikhail into first place. There are 2 teams left. They are on the podium. So that's safe in regards to the Junior Grand Prix final, probably. Rough skate, but they're still there.
Please welcome our next couple.
Our next team represents Ukraine. 17-year-old Maria Pinchuk, 21-year-old Mikita Pogorilov. Second after the rhythm dance. And will need a 93.66 to take the lead of an 88.19 at personal best. They'll skate to Vogue by Madonna and Frozen.
Maria Pinchik and Nikita Pogoleov. He turned 21 last Sunday. Can he celebrate with his partner with another win as the Ukrainians cheer them on? So if they win, then that would mean 50% of the Junior Grand Prix events this year being won by Ukrainian teams. And from...
In dance.
That's in dance, yeah. From the same coaches.
Wow.
And they've had to relocate to Vienna to do that. It's an amazing story of hard work and tenacity in spite of...
Perseverance.
Difficult circumstances.
That was a good program.
And that...
They delivered that at a higher level than we saw this morning even.
Absolutely, and it's really interesting. Obviously, the completely different take. And more open than the Germans here, working through the 1 foot, but more flow and glide. So to me, potentially, it could push the skating skills component score higher. This is so difficult. The continuous movement through the straight line leading into the rotational lift. And her arm movement just working the grade of execution as the difficult exit is delivered. Choosing to do a character choreo step within the program, often it is reserved for the final element to just push.
It was early on.
Choreo. Yeah, comparatively so. Bit of the whacking. Was it 80s again?
I don't know.
Choreo slide element, unique and creative and difficult too with that exit. So Irina Pegena and Artem Koval won, surprisingly, some might say, in Budapest last week. They're training mates. And coach Galina Chudalova, who has relocated with her student to Vienna in Austria, will be bursting with pride. They need 93.66. It would be a surprise. The assumption would have been that Daria and Mikhail would have won, but have they exploited the mistakes made by the German team?
We will see. Well, 90.46 is their personal best. 88.19 is their season's best. Well, they're going to beat probably both that score, but they'll need a 93.66 to take the lead.
It's interesting. You wonder what Maria and Mikita were hoping and expecting for. I'm saying that Daria and Mikhail were the favourites, but maybe this team now, after their win in Istanbul, is eyes on the prize. Maybe they're...
Well, maybe they're going, well, why aren't we the favourites?
Exactly, yeah.
And maybe after this, they will be. Who knows?
And a win would definitely secure them a spot to compete in the final. I assume first or second will be enough. But she can't quite get that to set right.
There we go.
Teamwork. Oh, nice to see the blue and yellow with the Ukrainian flag and the ribbons as well.
Yeah, nice. Looks really comfortable. They look pretty happy with that performance, and so they should be. It was like right on cue. There wasn't anything really off or tripping or stumbling or anything like that. It was solid performance, and I think the scores will maybe.
The dance spin, that was a bit sketchy, the dance spin, that's just dropped 2 levels, and that is making the difference potentially.
That is huge. Season's best, 92.20. That is first in the free dance, but it's a 154.43. That's second overall, and that was because that drop on that dance, on the, the dance spin at the end. Wow, we just saw that happen in front of our eyes.
Wow.
But they'll look at the report card, they'll see it, and they'll understand it. Not like it, different issue. Our final team, 16-year-old Sarah Kishimoto and 19-year-old Hiko Tamura. They're coached by Roman Hagenauer, Mary Fontenberg, Patricia Lazar, and on. They need 96.15 to take the lead. 87 is
Sara Kishimoto and Atsuhiko Tamura from Japan round out the free dance and complete the competition in Gdansk.
They missed the high five. They're tired. Wow.
Fascinating team, fascinating skaters, and they're a great team, but you can't help but be drawn to watching Sara Kishimoto. She reminds me in some part like Min Seok Kwon, the Korean skater who competed in the women's event.
Very expressive.
Captivating.
Lives every moment, and the energy she puts out in the program, they all do, of course, but she goes a little bit higher.
And as we see with so many of the Japanese skaters showing respect and gratitude to the audience, and that's delightful too.
Quality. Look at the twizzles here, good speed, double 4 for both, of course. 1.77 GOE, that's a great score of 8.61 total.
Speedy rotation, transitioning in and out. That's a new feature potential, the lift entry into, or the jump entry, I should say, into the rotational lift, showcasing a flexibility that was exploited in the choreography throughout for Sara. This is amazing, this range of movement, not just through the legs, but also through her back too. And it's her use of head, neck, face. She's just giving it. And we saw in practice this morning, they had a collision, they fell in this. They had a minus GOE in this element in their first assignment because they were too far apart. So they were so observant to the need to be close together to one another in this. Unfortunately, we didn't see the fall that took place this morning, as they finished with the choreographic lift. And they had up to +4 grade of execution on that element when they competed in Osaka, Japan, and some more choreography to finish.
Well, the personal best is 87.81, and they'll need at least an 88.84 to grab the bronze medal, which would be quite something.
Yeah, really exciting.
Right now, the Swiss team is in third.
Yeah, it's a shame that some great skaters that won't medal, but testament to the strength of the field.
Here it is.
I think they know. Do you think they're already excited because they must
they're
sense it?
91.11, that's the season best. That's second in the free dance. And total score 150.85. And that puts them currently into, well, not currently, they are in third place. And they take the bronze medal. Wow. She just got it. She just got, oh, really? That was great. Great competition. It was a competition, you know, the top 4 teams. It was a battle.
Great to see Atsuhiko's expression and excitement there as well.
As we take a look at the final standings here in the free dance, the final event in Gdansk, week number 6. Daria and Mikhail first, Maria and Mikita second, Sarah and Atsuhiko are third. And a look at the rest of the field. We hope that you'll stay online and watch the medal presentations for the dance, of course, and also the men's event. It'll take place just shortly. So I hope that you'll stay online. But for us, that concludes our coverage here in Gdansk. So week number 6, we'll be moving on to Yerevan, Armenia, for Thursday. I hope that you'll join us there. For all of us here, I want to do a shout out to all the volunteers and all the helpers at the Polish Skating Federation. Of course, our production team here, outstanding job as usual. Check online for all those special videos. Kilt Man, the Kilt Man will be starring in that, of course. So check that out. For all of us here at the ISU, for Mark Hanratty, I'm Ted Barton. Thank you for watching. We hope to see you next week in Yerevan.
łyżwiarstwie figurowym Międzynarodowej Unii Łyżwiarskiej PGE Solidarity Cup 2023. Ceremonia medalowa juniorskich par tanecznych. ISU Junior Grand Prix of Figure Skating PGE Solidarity Cup 2023 Victory Ceremony Junior Ice Dance. Trzecie miejsce i brązowy medal. Third and winner of the bronze medal. From Japan, Sara Kishimoto, Atsuhiko Tamura. Drugie miejsce i srebrny medal. Second and winner of the silver medal. From Ukraine, Maria Pinczuk, Mykita Podoliewa. Pierwsze miejsce i złoty medal. First and winner of the gold medal. From Germany, Daria Grimm, Michał Sawicki. Medale wręcza prezes Polskiego Związku Łyżwiarstwa Figurowego, pan Jacek Taszer. Please welcome the president of the Polish Figure Skating Association, Mr. Jacek Taszer. He will award the medals. Kwiat wręcza sekretarz generalny Polskiego Związku Łyżwiarstwa Figurowego pan Jakub Wójcik. Please welcome the Secretary General of Polish Figure Skating Association, Mr. Jakub Wójcik. He will award the flowers. Panie i panowie, proszę o powstanie do hymnu zwycięzców. Ladies and gentlemen, please raise for the national anthem of the winner. Panie i panowie, poproszę o aplauz dla naszych medalistów. Ladies and gentlemen, these are your medalists. ceremony junior men. Trzecie miejsce i brązowy medal. First and winner of the bronze medal from Japan, Daya Ebihara. Drugie miejsce i srebrny medal. Second and winner of the silver medal from United States of America, Beck Strummer. Pierwsze miejsce i złoty medal. First and winner of the gold medal from Korea, Juhon Lim. Medale wręczy prezes Polskiego Związku Łyżwiarstwa Figurowego, pan Jacek Taszer. Please welcome the president of the Polish Figure Skating Association, Mr. Jacek Taszer. He will award the medals. Kwiaty wręczy sekretarz generalny Polskiego Związku Łyżwiarstwa Figurowego, pan Jakub Wójcik. Please welcome the Secretary General of Polish Figure Skating Association, Mr. Jakub Wójcik. He will award the flowers. Panie i panowie, poproszę o powstanie do hymnu zwycięzcy. Ladies and gentlemen, please raise for the national anthem of the winner. Proszę o brawa dla naszych medalistów. Ladies and gentlemen, these are your medalists. Szanowni Państwo, nasze Grand Prix dobiega już niestety końca. Dziękuję Państwu za wspaniałe dopingowanie i już teraz zapraszam Państwa na Challenger Międzynarodowej Unii Łyżwiarskiej, Challenger Warsaw Cup, który już w listopadzie odbędzie się w Warszawie. Wstęp będzie podobnie jak tutaj bezpłatny. Mamy nadzieję na Państwa obecność. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes Junior Grand Prix. Thank you everyone and have a safe flight home. We would like to invite you to take part in Challenger Series Warsaw Cup that will take place in November in Warsaw. Thank you so much. Bye bye.